Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Tardis from Doctor Who. Shout out to the Last Time Lord, by the way, for showing me how to make the original version of this. Much appreciated. If you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need, first of all, some black wool and some dark blue wool. Once you've got those, this is when it gets a little bit more interesting. You're going to want to grab some block of quartz and some glowstone. And you're also going to want to grab both types of glass pane and glass block. And once you have all of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here, you're going to want to kick this off by doing a row of 24 dark blue wool in a row on the floor. That is 2, 4, 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you're going to want to have your row of 24 dark blue wool. Once you have that, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way over to the left hand side of your row of 24. Take a sideways view to the first block that you placed, this one right here, and you want to go left of this block by 23 with your dark blue wool again. 2, 3, 23. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Like so. And once you've done that row of 23, again you want to take a sideways view to this 23rd block, and you want to go left of this 23rd block by, you might have guessed it, 23. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And once you have that second row of 23 complete, all you want to do is connect this 23rd block all the way back over to the start of our TARDIS. So essentially what you want to make is a big giant square, like this. Every single one of those sides should be 24 blocks long in total. 1, 23, 24. There's some maths for you. Once you have your square, this is what you want to do next. So you essentially just want to trace along the top of your original square with your dark blue wool, just to add an extra layer on top. So you want to have 2 layers of the original base layer. So I'm just going to continue tracing along the top here. Nice and tedious. There's actually nothing difficult about the TARDIS. Like design-wise, it's just a lot of blocks. A lot of time. Once you have your second layer of dark blue wool, this is what you want to do next. So now you're going to want to trace along the inside of the second layer of dark blue wool. So what you're essentially doing is adding an ever so slightly smaller dark blue square inside of your dark blue square. Like Exhibit. I heard you like squares. So we'll just continue doing this. And once you have finished tracing along... can't even get my words out. Once you have finished tracing along the inside of that top layer of dark blue, you should have something which should look a little bit like this. Very simple. Once you've reached this point right here, it's now time for us to start building up. So this is what you want to do. You're going to want to take every single one of these corner blocks right here, the corner of the smaller square that we've just made, and you're going to want to raise up each one of these corners by 39. That is 39, 39. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be a row of 39 dark blue wool. And again, as I said, we need to do this in every single one of these corners, so this corner as well. So, get a bit of a breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 39, and I'm pretty sure that is the same size as the original. That is a good sign. Got to do this 2 more times, so coming over to this penultimate corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again. Yep, pretty sure that that is equal. By the way, I could cheat. Really, I could have taken that first one and just did like a giant square around the top and used the first row to measure all of the other 3 rows, but by doing it this way we're ensuring that all of these rows are equal in length and they are all 39. If that makes sense to you, it makes sense to me. So let's do this final one, shall we? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Yeah, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should be equal to all of the others. There we go. I'm telling you. It's an easy build, it is just tedious. So once you have your 4 rows of 39 dark blue wool, this is what you want to do next. So the positioning for these is really somewhat difficult to put into words, but you guys all know what you have to do. So you want to do 2 more rows of 39 dark blue wool on either side of your original rows of 39 dark blue wool, and you just want to have them positioned like this. So you just want to have, you essentially want to form a corner for your square, so you want to have something which should look like this, just to give you guys a view of this. It's kind of hard for me to describe where you want to place those wool, but you guys should be able to tell fairly easily what you have to do. And you have to do that with every single one of these corners, unfortunately, so let's just get cracking. I'm going to do all of this on recording, by the way. There may be a little bit later on where I do some filling in. That's not going to be on recording, but we're in this together, guys. We're in this together. Unfortunately, we both have to do this. This is awful. Why is it so big? I should have just designed it myself. My Tardis would have never have been this big. It would have been nice and small, nice and manageable. Just got this final corner to do now. Yeah, boom. So you're going to want to have something which should look a little bit like this. We have reinforced every single one of those 4 corners. And this is what you're going to want to do next. So this is what you're going to want to do next. You want to connect every single one of those 4 corners together, top block to top block. So you just want to go all the way around in a big giant square and connect everything together to form a big giant rectangular shape. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit stalling, a little bit like this. There you have it. That is what you want to have for your Tardis so far. We're actually cracking along with this fairly quickly, despite the fact that it's taken us 10 minutes to make the frame. I'm going to be back in a moment. Once the sun has came back up, we can start on the actual sides of our Tardis. Ah, glorious daylight. It's nice to have it back. So, this is what you're going to want to do once you've reached this point right here. And by this point, I mean that you've just connected each one of those 4 corners together at the top, like this. So, pick a side, any side, it really doesn't matter. We've got to do this to every single one of them. This is what you want to do next. So, underneath the row that you have just connected each one of the 4 corners together, you're just going to want to add an additional row underneath, like this. And then, on the left and right hand sides of the row that you've just formed, you're going to want to go down from each one of those end blocks by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you also want to connect those 4 blocks together. I've not done the 4 blocks on the other side yet, but I'll do them when I get over there. So you're going to want to have something which should look a little bit like this. Remember all of those rows that you've just done? The one underneath the original row and the 2 going down and the one to connect the 2 bottom rows together? Well, you're going to want to do that again, except in front of what you've just made. So you're just going to want to have something which should look a little bit like... like this. So you should just have a rectangular shape poking out at you. And what you then want to do once you have your rectangular shape is you just want to fill it in completely with black wool. So you're just going to want to have something which should end up looking a little bit like this. Essentially just a rectangle filled in with black wool. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've taken care of that, well, unfortunately, as I mentioned, we've got to do this to every single side, and I may as well just make it along with you guys. So, moving on to side number 2. First of all, we just do the additional row of dark blue underneath this top row right here. We then go down from each one of those end blocks by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then connect the end blocks together, bottom block to bottom block, like this. We then trace along the outside of our rectangle, as I'm doing now. Trace along the outside of our rectangle, and then we just fill it in with black wool. Very simple, very easy, shouldn't cause you too much trouble whatsoever, so just going to casually fill this in. Admittedly, I could probably cut out me doing the next 2, but you guys have to do this anyway. So, moving on to the third side now. I suppose I could show you the second side, but really, it's just a duplicate. Can't even pronounce the word. Duplicate of the first side. So, moving back over to here. Starting off with the row underneath this top row. Down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect them together. I can't place blocks today. Trace along the outside of our rectangle. No! What's happening? Why can't I just build things without it going wrong? Why can't I just place blocks where I want to place blocks? Why is Minecraft so hard? It says it's fun for all ages, but I don't believe them. Just filling in the rectangle, and just as with the other 2, it's came out looking perfect. It's came out looking exactly like this. Moving on to the final one. So the row underneath the top row. Add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect each side together. Bottom block to bottom block. Trace along the outside of our rectangle. And then we just have to fill our rectangle in with black wool. Oh, the fun. The fun never ends with this build, I'm telling you. Giving you something which should look a little bit like this. And that is the 4th and final panel of our TARDIS completed. Thank you. So, as always, pause this if necessary if you're still working on any one of those 4 little rectangular sections. Once you have completed those, however, it's now time for us to move on to the next bit. And it doesn't really matter which side of your TARDIS that you start on again, since we've got to do the exact same thing to each one of the 4 sides anyway. This is what you want to do. You'll notice that on the side of your TARDIS, each one of the sides, you have a large rectangular space, nice and open. What you essentially want to do is a slightly smaller rectangular shape inside of the side of your TARDIS, and this rectangular shape just wants to sit one block back in relation to the corners or the sides of your TARDIS, and the rectangular shape just wants to fit in perfectly to the large rectangular shape that is the side of your TARDIS. It's kind of difficult for me to put into words, but you guys will see what I mean once I've finished it. So you essentially want to end up with something which should look a little bit like this. There you go. Very simple. So once you have your large-ish rectangular shape, this is what you want to do. Come down to the bottom left-hand corner of your rectangle, and on top of this second block right here, you want to take out your glowstone, or any block that isn't dark blue really, and on top of this block, you want to go up by 7 with, well, your glowstone. Let's use glowstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on top of that 7th glowstone, place a dark blue. Once you've placed the dark blue, go up again by 7 with your glowstone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Place the dark blue wool again. And then 7 more glowstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 1 more dark blue wool. And finally, 7 more glowstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there you have it. There should just be 7 glowstone between the last dark blue that we've placed and the top of our rectangle. That shows that everything is going to plan. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this. What you then want to do is take out your dark blue wool again, and you just want to extend each one of those single dark blues all the way over to the right hand side of your rectangle. So just do something which should look, I can't even place blocks, which should look a little bit like this. Kind of looks like a ladder. What you then want to do is return back down to the bottom middle-ish of your rectangle shape, so around here, and you want to take the 2 center blocks and you want to raise them all the way up to the very top of your rectangle, and I want to count these out before I do any long rows. So it wants to be on the 9th and 10 blocks in, starting from the left hand side of your rectangle. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we just want to raise each one of these blocks up right to the top with your dark blue wool. So you just want to have something which should end up looking a little bit, once I've finished it, like this. So this is what you want to have for the first side of your TARDIS. It kind of looks like window frames. Pause this if necessary, if you're still working on that, of course. Once you have finished doing this first side, and we do have a little bit more to do to the sides a little later on, add in some details and such, but for now, you're going to want to do exactly this to every single other side of your TARDIS. So, first of all, coming over to this side, it doesn't really matter which side I do next. Have to do this to every single one of them. First of all, we have to start off by doing the inlined rectangle, as I'm getting on with now, and failing miserably, as a matter of fact. Just got the long line to do. And after I've done this little inlined rectangle, I now have to count out each one of the panes on the side. So starting from here, take out my glowstone or whatever material. I'll use quartz this time for the fun of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Throw blue on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blue on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blue on top. There you go. As a matter of fact, I could have just used the other dark blue lines to measure out where I had to place them on this side. I'll do that for the next one, but it only just occurred to me this time. Is that all I have to do? Yep, that's all of the lines. Let's just drag these all the way over to the other side. And of course, after we've done these 3 long dark blue lines that connect from the left and right hand sides of this face of the TARDIS. We then have to do the 2 lines in the middle of our TARDIS, and again I don't really want to risk getting the wrong row because there's quite a lot to do. So how many is it? Counting from here, we've got to find number 9 and 10, so is it from here? Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this one and this one. And then all you have to do, as I'm doing now, is raise up number blocks 9 and 10 all the way up to the top, and that is the side complete. I think I will do all of these on recording because they're not taking too long and you guys have to do them as well. But there you go, this is side number 2. So that is the second side taken care of. Moving on to the third side. If you guys haven't noticed, I am doing these other sides a little bit faster. I think that it's simple enough that the original explanation for this little section of the TARDIS, I think it was easy enough that I don't really have to show you guys like 4 times in a row. So just doing this nice and quick, as fast as possible really, which unfortunately isn't too fast, so let's just do this. A lot of parts of this are awkward. Just block placement. There we are, that's the whole rectangle done, and then, as I said, I can just use the other sides to mark out where the 3 lines of the side are going to go. Yep, that's all marked out, so let's just drag these all the way over to the other side. This is a lot faster now, actually, now that I don't have to count out the little individual spaces between the rows. Whoops. There. And the final one. There we go. Now we've just got the 2 thick lines to do in the middle, and I can just use the other side to measure this out as well now. So just going to add this double row in the middle, and then this side will be done as well, and then we can move on to side number 3. Side number 3. I am on side number 3. Move on to side number 4. So this is side number 3 completely taken care of. Let's move on to side number 4 now. So this should be the easiest side considering the fact that I've already done this 3 times already. So just go all the way around. Do the inlined rectangle. Just hit my head on the top of the TARDIS. Spider-Man's going to get a concussion, so just got to finish off this little rectangle, and I think we'll beat the nighttime looking at the position of the sun. So we've just got to add these 3 lines in now that the rectangle is done. All the way over to the other side. Of course, for those of you that are on this part, you could just skip ahead in the video if you wanted to, if you don't want to hear me yammering on doing this, as I should have probably pointed that out at position number 2. As I mentioned, I think that the first time that I show you how to make this, I think that that's probably going to be enough. It is a really simple design on the side, just doing the rectangle and then just adding in the increments of dark blue. Then just adding 2 dark blue rows in the middle. It doesn't get too much easier, but there you go. And I think that that is the 4th side 100% taken care of. Once you've reached this point right here in which you've laid down the framework for each one of the 4 individual sides of your TARDIS, now we actually have to mess about and fill them in, which isn't too complicated for you, to be honest. I'm going to be back in just a moment since it is going to be getting dark very, very soon. Alright, so the next thing on our agenda, now that we've created 8 individual panels on each side of our TARDIS, we now have to fill them in. Most of this is very easy, as the bottom 6 panels just have to be filled in entirely with dark blue wool. However, these top 2 here, they're a little bit trickier. I'm just going to fill the top 2 in and then show you guys the end result. So I'm just going to quickly do this. They're very easy. It's just a little mixture of dark blue wool and glass. They're just windows for the top row. There's nothing too difficult about it whatsoever. I may as well do the second one as well whilst I'm up here. So let's just do this 1, 2 here. 1 in the middle. then just, whoops, cut them in half. I should know, although you guys will be able to tell this anyway, can't even get my words out. I should note that the windows and any detail that we're applying to these 8 individual panels here sits 1 block back in relation to the framework that we've just made, so just bear that in mind. And there you go, these are the 2 windows that I was talking about that we're going to want to do all the way around our TARDIS. Very simple design, as you can see. Pause this if necessary, of course. Once you've finished doing those 2 windows, all we have to do, and I'm not going to do this on recording as a matter of fact, because it's going to take quite a while. All you have to do, once you've done the windows all the way around your TARDIS, which is what I'm going to do next, I think I might do another set before I cut this off. What you want to do once you've done the top row of windows all the way around your TARDIS is just fill each one of these sections completely in with dark blue wool, and that's all you have to do to fill those in. And you know what, I won't display me doing the windows again, I don't think there's really any point. So what I'm going to do, because it's going to take a very long time, I'm going to go and get these windows done, and then I'm just going to fill in every single other panel with dark blue. So as always, pause this if necessary, as I mentioned, on these windows. If you still don't know what the design looks like, I'm going to be back once all of that is done. It's going to take like 10 minutes, it's going to be crazy. So as you guys may be able to tell, I have completely filled in each side of the TARDIS, had to do the windows and fill in each one of those 6 panels on the bottom with the dark blue wool. That's what took the most amount of time, the windows didn't take too much time whatsoever. Once you guys have reached this point right here, and as always, pause this if necessary if you're still working on that, of course, I imagine you will be. It took me quite a while. Worked through most of the night, so I think it took like 10-12 minutes, it was crazy. Once you've reached this point here, however, it's now time for us to move up to the top of our TARDIS. So this is what you want to do once you've reached the very top of your TARDIS here, once you're looking down into the abyss. So where we have this big square outline for the top of it, what you essentially want to do is take out your dark blue wool, and you just want to do like a layer of dark blue all the way around the top of your TARDIS on the inside. So you essentially just want to make a square shape that is just 1 block shorter on each end than the actual outside like this. So you just want to like reinforce your square. And then once you've done that once, you're going to want to go ahead and do that exact same thing again. So you're just going to want to have it 3 blocks thick all the way around, as I'm doing now. So just add yet an extra layer on top of the layer that you've just done, going all the way around like this. Is that every single side, or have I got one more to do? No, so you want to have something which should look like this. A square which is 3 blocks thick. Once you've done this, this is what you want to do next. On top of that 3rd layer, you're just going to want to do 2 rows of dark blue directly on top of this 3rd layer, this 3rd row of blocks right here. So you just want to do 2 layers, and you just want to go all the way around like this, just raising it up. So as I'm doing now, raising it up. Just 1 more layer to do. I really should have made a mini version of the TARDIS. That might have been a smarter idea. So many blocks. So many blocks. So you want to have something, once you've finished, that should look a little bit like this. So you've just got your square shape, which is a little bit smaller, and you've just got 2 rows of it coming up like this. This is what you want to do next. It's kind of a similar procedure to what we've just done. So you want to do this. You pick any side of your square, it doesn't really matter. You want to essentially do a square that is 1 block shorter on each end. You want to basically put a square inside the square that you've just made, and then it just wants to be 1 block higher than this square right here, 1 block higher than the second row of your square shape. Again, my words and descriptive abilities are failing me, but in reality, all you want to do is this, and it's really simple. And once you've just done that smaller square, one layer of it, which is 1 block higher and 1 block inwards in relation to the previous square shape, you just want to add an extra layer on top. So you just want to have 2 layers of that square shape like this. Look at me trying to make things complicated as always. What am I doing? I swear these tutorials should be silent. I think they'd be easier to follow. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this, just to give you guys a bit of a side view and then a bit of a top view here. And what you want to do, once you've just done your little square shape and you've added the extra layer on top, is you want to do this. You essentially just want to add a lid for the top of your square shape. So you just want to 1 block higher and 1 block inwards in relation to your square. You just want to add however many dark blue blocks it takes to just fill in the hole that's on top of the TARDIS, which is exactly what I'm doing now. So this may take a little while actually. The top of the TARDIS is actually pretty big. How big is it? Yeah, we're not even halfway done. So we'll just do this. And once we've actually filled in the top here, we just have to add the little light, the little beacon that's on top of the TARDIS. That's all we have to add after we've thrown the lid on top. Oh, and we also have to decide which side is actually going to be the front of our TARDIS as well. We have yet to figure that out, but that decision is going to be up to you anyway. We just have to alter a couple of things. But there you go. That is the top of the TARDIS, just about complete. As I mentioned, once you've just filled in the entire top, now all we have to do is the little beacon or the light, or to be quite honest, I'm not entirely sure where it is, on top of the TARDIS. So picking a side, any side, again, it really doesn't matter which side, you're going to want to start from this block right here, the end block of your side, and you want to count in towards the center, and you want to find the 7th block in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you want to go towards the center of your TARDIS, and you want to go 4 blocks in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place a dark blue, and then place a dark blue next to it. You then want to raise up each one of those dark blue blocks by 3, so 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, like this. What you then want to do is you want to take out your glowstone, and you want to do a row of 3 glowstone diagonally in relation to the dark blue that you've just placed. So kind of like this, just to show you that the side that we started on. So you want to do something like this. And once you've placed your 3 glowstone, you want to do this. It's kind of difficult to explain, but you kind of want to do the same thing with your dark blue, except it wants to be like diagonal to the glowstone that you've just placed, like coming over to the other side of your TARDIS. Can you guys see what I mean if I give you guys a bit of a sky view? That's what you need to do. Again, it's kind of a difficult part to describe, but hopefully you guys are getting it. And then once you've done your 2 rows of dark blue on either side like that, you want to do 2 more rows of 3 glowstone connecting diagonally to those 2 sections of blue, like that. And then, just to finish this up, you then want to just add an extra dark blue pillar, like this. So, to give you guys a top view, it wants to look a little bit like this. As I said, the blue is 4 blocks high, and the glowstone is 3 blocks high. Very simple. What you then want to do is this. You then want to connect all of the dark blue together. You kind of want to form a square shape like this. You just want to have something which should look a little bit like this, just to give you a top view. You just want to form a big giant square on top. I know that kind of fades in, actually. You probably can't see that, but you just want to have something which should look like this. This part is really difficult to explain, like I said. This is really the best that I can do. I just hope that you guys are getting the gist of this. And once you've made the square shape on top like this, just as earlier we had to fill in the TARDIS, or the top of our TARDIS, we just want to fill in this square shape that we have up top here. So you just want to take out your dark blue, and you just want to fill in the top. like so. And once you've filled in the top, we just have 4 more blocks to add in the center of the square shape that we've just formed on top. So you just want to have something which should look a little bit like this, if you guys can see what I've done there. And now, just to finish this little section off completely, we just want to add some glass pane going around the glowstone that we've just made. So you just want to have something which should look like this going around the glowstone. And I know that it's not perfect since the glass pane kind of latches on to all of the glowstone, but it's the best that we can do, unfortunately. So I'm just going to do this to every single side. I figure this must just be a light or something. I don't see what else it can be unless maybe I need to watch the series to know. I don't actually watch Doctor Who. I didn't even make the TARDIS, as I said at the start of the video. I just thought it was really cool, and I wanted to show you guys how to make it. I don't know. If it's not a light, it's probably a beacon, I would guess. Maybe I'll have to look it up. But there you go, that is what you want to have on top of your TARDIS, the little light slash beacon. I'm trying to give you guys as many views as possible. Of course, you may need to pause this where necessary, but once you have taken care of the beacon, there is only one more thing left for us to do. And again, the darkness is closing in, so I'm going to be back in a moment once we have the light time again. Alright guys, so we just have one final thing left to do on our TARDIS. We have to choose which side is going to be the front. At the moment, each one of the 4 sides are 100% identical, or at least they should be. So it really doesn't matter which one you choose, it is just your preference, depending which way you want the TARDIS to face. I'm going to do this side since, well, I'm closest to it, quite frankly. This is what you want to do to the main side, and you only want to do this to the main side. So, first of all, we've just got to edit these 2 panels that sit just below the windows. In the left one, we've got to add a large square of quartz block, like this. I'll show you guys the end result of both of these panels once I've finished. It won't take me too long whatsoever. So you just want to do that to the left. You just want to essentially add like a square of quartz in the middle. And this right hand panel here, you want to do like a diamond shape of your quartz, and then you just want to do a black plus shape in the center of your diamond. So you want to have something which should look a little bit like this, and this just differentiates each one of the other sides from your main side. And luckily, if you change your mind, if you want, for instance, the opposite side to be the main side, it's really not too much effort just to change it. So there you have it. That is what you want to do to the main side of your TARDIS, and as I mentioned, that was the final step in this tutorial. So I'm just going to give you guys a nice little 360 of the TARDIS, and then I'll be off. As I mentioned, that is the final step, so if you guys have completely finished with this tutorial, if you don't care what the TARDIS looks like, you guys can just exit the video now. Thanks for watching. However, if you guys have just skipped to the end of the video just to have a bit of a look at what it ends up looking like, this is it. It's a pretty cool statue. I really do like this. As I mentioned during the video, I'm not a particular fan of Doctor Who. I've never really watched it. The concept isn't really too interesting to me, but it certainly makes for a cool statue. Pretty simple as well. It's actually really easy to make if you take out the fact that, well, I mean, it's big, so it takes quite a bit of time, but it is very easy. I think that it probably takes like at least half an hour to 40 minutes to make, even if you knew what you were doing, even if you had like my plans here, it'd still probably take that to make anyway. Oh well. But there you go. Hopefully you guys had an easy enough time making this. As I said, it's quite a simple design. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next